Hello. So in this tutorial, I want to show you how to move your stop loss to your entry price, or what we say, move your stop loss to break even. Now, this is a slightly technical section where you need to pay a little bit of attention so you can really understand what's going on. Now, the whole point of moving your stop loss to your entry price is if your trade is already in profits and you want to remove the risk, it means that you are anticipating that your trade would eventually go to hit the take profit levels and you make money from that trade, but the trade has gone far enough in profit and you are thinking that the market, even that the market might reverse, and if it does reverse, you just want to be taken out of that trade with no profits and no losses. Now, that's what we mean when we say you move your stop loss to your entry price, so that you neither lose and you neither gain. Now, if it's in a losing situation and maybe you're anticipating that price hasn't hit your stop loss yet, and you're anticipating that it might want to come back to the level where you entered the market, then you move your stop loss to your entry price also. And so when price hits that level, it takes you out of the market. You have neither made a loss or neither made a profit. So that's what we call, and that's why it's called break even, meaning that you are exactly where you were. You neither lost and you neither gained. Now, when you want to do this is where you need to pay some attention. Now, the first thing, we're using the AUD. Let me close this USA 100 trade so that it doesn't distract us. Now, if you sold on this trade, now this is the buy trade. I bought on this trade. Now, what you want to do is you want to move your stop loss to slightly beyond your entry price, slightly into profit levels. So, for example, I entered this trade. Let me use a pointer so you'll be able to really understand what I'm saying. Okay, let me use this crosshairs. Now, I entered this trade at this particular point. This green dotted line is where I entered the trade. Now, this is a buy trade, which means that I expect price to go up. Now, let's say for some reasons, let me use a scenario where price has actually gone up and I want to remove the risk that is on my trade, which means that I'm supposed to move my stop loss value to this point where I entered the trade. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it slightly. That the value I'm going to enter is going to be slightly into profit. Now, why do I want to do this? In order to cover for the gap that I have between the sell and the ask price. If you leave your trade exactly if you set your stop loss to be exactly on where you entered into the trade, the gap between your ask and your sell price, the price might actually make you lose a little bit. It's going to be a little, not very significant, depending on the lot size that you use, though. Not very, very significant. So it might not be very significant, but then might be a little bit painful. So I just move it slightly into profit. Now, into profit means that slightly into the direction where I anticipated the trade to go. My expectation was that the trade will go up. So if I want to set my stop loss to break even, I just move it slightly into profit, so that in case the market reverses back and it gets to it will just log me out of the trade with slightly tiny profit, so that I don't lose anything. If you enter your stop loss to be exactly on your entry price, and the market gets there, this gap, the difference in price here, might cause you to lose a little bit money. So that's why I don't advise placing your stop loss exactly at the point at which you enter the market. Now, this is just a graphical explanation. Let me show you how it is actually done. Now, look at this. You entered the trade at 1.08229. I entered the trade at 1.08229. Now, I know that we'll calculate pips from the fourth decimal place, which is 2. So that's 1.0822. So the 2 there is where my counting starts from. So 1.0822. Now I'm thinking, if I want to move this into profit, what amount should I use? Okay, I could add like 5 to that. So that becomes 1.0827. So if I add 0.0005, which is 5 pips to that, that's 5 pips. That will now be 1.0827. If it is 3 pips I added into profit, then that will be 1.0825. So I've now decided, okay, now this is what I want to use. So I will just simply hold down on the trade, click on modify order. Don't worry about that sound. Go to the stop loss section and then enter 1.08. This is wrong. 1.0827. Oh, something is wrong. I'm not calculating something correctly. 1.08. Okay, 1.08. Sorry, I was calculating with the. So that's 1.0827. Okay, now I might not be able to really use this example right now because the trade is still very close. The trade is still, my entry price is, in fact, is still very close. The price, where price is currently, is still very close to my entry price. So remember, I told you that the example, you want to do this when price has moved far into profits. There has to be about a distance of about 20 pips or so between your entry price and where price is for you to be able to adjust your stop loss to your entry price. Now my entry price is still very close to where price is currently dancing at, so I won't be able to affect that. But from the calculations that we have done here, so if I want to move it slightly into profit, and it's a buy trade, so I expect price to keep increasing and going up. Now 1.0825 is definitely more than 1.0822, and 1.0827 is definitely more than 1.0822. So I could use any of those values. So the lesson here is to move the value to slightly just beyond the price you enter the market, slightly into profit, and then set it there, so that when price ever gets there, it takes you out of the market with a very tiny profit, not much significant, but you don't lose anything on that trade. All right, so that is that. It's been a little bit of a difficult thing to explain, but I hope that you get the idea. All right, thank you.